Hello, my name is David Wortley, and it's my great pleasure to be able to make this video recording on the topic of the role of AI and wearable technologies in preventative healthcare. I'm going to begin my presentation with a little video recording, which is a simulation of how a digital twin health coach or doctor might advise someone like me. It uses data from my own smart ring, so it's using real data, and it uses AI to translate the factual information retrieved from my smart ring into something that a doctor, using phrases a doctor might use in advising the patient. So I'm going to play this video now and continue with my presentation after that, reflecting on its significance. Hi David, here's your weekly health check-in, 15 of the 21st of September 2025. Overall health score 70. You're doing fairly well, but there's room to strengthen your resilience. Think of this as a solid C+ grade. You're keeping steady, but a few tweaks could raise your scores. Sleep score 74. Your sleep is decent, but not fully restorative. At your age, high quality sleep is one of the best things you can do for recovery, brain health, and energy. Let's work on consistency, aiming for a steady bedtime and wake up time. Avoid heavy late night meals, screens just before bed, and keep your evening calm to help your body naturally wind down. Vitality, score 85, slightly down. This is encouraging. Shows good daily energy and activity, but the downward arrow suggests your body may be under a little extra strain, possibly from stress or irregular rest. Keep moving daily, but balance physical effort with recovery time. Balance, score 39. This is the area that needs the most attention. A low balance score often signals stress, tension, or not enough recovery between busy periods. It's like your inner battery is being drained faster than it's recharged. Stress management, mindfulness, or short relaxation routines, breathing exercises, stretching, or short walks will help bring this up. So that is the kind of experience that you might have on your smartphone in the future. And it forms part of my presentation. I've been an evangelist for wearable technologies and lifestyle medicine for about 11 years now. So my conclusions at the end of my presentation might surprise you. So the topic of the presentation is the impact of AI and wearable technologies on preventable health care. A little bit of background about me. I was a founding director of the Serious Games Institute. I'm a quantified self practitioner. In other words, I measure my own health and use that to improve my health. I'm a lifestyle medicine evangelist. I'm a member of the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine. I do speak a lot about healthy aging. I'm 76 years old now and don't take any medication, still walk 5 miles a day. But I also specialize, and have done for many, many years, on the impact of disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence and so on. And I do believe that it's important to collect evidence in my research work. Now, an observation that I make about the digital twin doctor advising me in that opening clip is that digital doctor was having access to more accurate and up-to-date information than my own doctor. It knows me better than my own doctor. In my own practice in the nearby town of Toaster, I very rarely see the same doctor. And so there are arguments in favor of using the power of these technologies as a way of better managing and improving healthcare. But wait till the end of my presentation before you draw any conclusions. So I'll begin by a disclaimer. The views and opinions I express in this presentation, they're entirely my own experience as a lifestyle medicine practitioner explorer. They are my own beliefs and experiences. They're not intended to endorse any of the products or services mentioned in this recording. As I mentioned, I'm a member of the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine and I'm a non-executive director of the World Lifestyle Medicine Education Services. The presentation takeaway that I want you to get out of this is about the secret to healthy longevity. I mean, I'm fortunate to enjoy good health, but I want to share with you some of the factors that I think are really causing a lot of pressure on our public health services. And probably the most important of these is the fact that lifestyle related non communicable diseases, or NCDs as they're known, are the greatest challenge to the sustainability of public health services. And the technologies that I use, technology supported lifestyle medicine, can influence personal health management, exercise, diet, nutrition, hydration, and sleep, and could make an important contribution to addressing this challenge. And AI enabled digital twins and wearable technologies have some potential to influence lifestyle behaviors, and you'll see what I mean by that at the end of my presentation. So let's have a look at non-communicable diseases and why they're important. Well, we die more unnecessarily early from lifestyle-related conditions, NCDs, non-communicable diseases, than any other condition. You can see how this has changed since 1990, and today non-communicable diseases are the biggest cause of early mortality, and that includes the impact of COVID-19. But during my lifetime and going back quite some time in history, you'll see that civilization has helped us to improve our life expectancy, going back to the 1800s, where life expectancy for many parts of the world was only 32 years old. And even in 1950, the year after I was born, in some places the life expectancy was only 48 years old. But today, in many parts of the world, life expectancy is creeping up beyond 80. So longevity has increased dramatically. And so this has resulted in the phenomenon known as the aging society. Now, the aging society has some challenges. Okay, we do have increased longevity, which is good, but we need more medical care as we age. So we don't have the same quality of health when we're older as we do when we're younger. And to top it all, there are fewer working people to be able to fund the services that we need. And this has resulted in many areas where the elderly care is underfunded, and pandemics have only served to exacerbate the problem. Elderly care in my lifetime has shifted from being something which is a family responsibility to being something which is a responsibility of the community and public services. And this concept of the atomic family and children moving away from the places where they were born has led to loneliness and social isolation amongst older people, which has knock-on effects in both physical and mental health. And as an example of this is my partner's father, Eric Jepson, who passed away sadly in 2021, but he spent the last year of his life living with us because he was unable and his partner was unable to look after themselves. And you'll see on the left-hand side of the table his daily drug regime. These are the drugs that he took on a regular basis, that it became my partner's responsibility to take care of, so that he took the right drugs at the right time. But even with the greatest care, not all drugs agree with each other. And so he had this phenomenon of comorbidity. When Eric came to the last part of his life, his drug regime was changed as he went into palliative care. And so the number of drugs that he took on a regular basis are shown on the right-hand side of the table. So today we have a great imbalance in the cost of healthcare services, and older people and the problems of old age are creating a disproportionate effect on the cost of healthcare services. And there are fewer working people to support that. So What do we need to do? We need to shift from cure to prevention. And the secret to this is changing lifestyle behaviors. This is not my idea. This was pointed out by Sir Simon Stevens when he was the head of the National Health Service back in the early 2000s. And what he said was he recognized that we were heading towards what he described as a slow motion car crash. He said it's clear that the best chance that we have of not only increasing our lifespans and overall improving our health, but we need to adjust our personal behaviors and to do it as early as possible. So, how can we do that? And how can technology help? Well, the challenge is not just influencing lifestyle behavior and circumstances at an individual level, as I've done, but also at scale. And the secret that I would propose to you is the concept of personalized, gamified, and validated behavioral change, changing lifestyle behaviors in a way that is evidence and can be proved to show improvements in public health. And the secret of that is lifestyle medicine. As a member of the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine, I thoroughly endorse their description of lifestyle medicine, which is described as evidence-based clinical care, supporting behavioral change through person-centered techniques, improve mental well-being, social connection, healthy eating, physical activity, sleep, and the minimization of harmful substances and behaviors. And it's on the basis really that everyone is individual. Everyone has different socio-economic circumstances, and they have an important impact on our health. And it's about proven techniques which help people to support lifestyle changes. And at the heart of this is knowledge of the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, which are healthy eating, mental well-being, healthy social relationships, physical activity, not necessarily exercise, but movement, minimizing harmful substances like tobacco and alcohol, and sleep. So digital technologies have a role to play in all of these areas. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about how different technologies support these. Suffice it to say, the steps involved is that you need to measure these key influences in our health and well-being and create personal benchmarks, person-centered healthcare, set achievable goals, it's a gamification element, and wrap around a supporting environment. And to support that with digital therapeutics. And at the heart of it all is encouraging each of us to accept some personal responsibility for our own health. Now, this is a concept, it's the digital health sat nav, and it's a concept that I developed over a decade ago when I first started on this journey of using wearable technologies. And the idea is it's a parallel to the sat nav that you have in the car. In other words, you decide what your health destination wants to be. So you can see on the right-hand side, I would like to look a lot healthier and be a lot slimmer than I started out. And wearable technologies help me to navigate this journey to my chosen health destination. So life is like a wonderful journey. It's a journey from the cradle to the grave. We know the starting point and we know the ultimate destination, and we are aware, of different milestones in our lifetime, different places en route, but we really have no idea at any time in our life how long our journey will last or whether our journey is going to be easy or difficult. But it's our body, that's the vehicle that takes us on this journey. It takes us to our final destination, and it's its condition that determines where we are on that journey, the nature of the journey, and how long it will last. But most of us, and certainly it was true of me, we don't monitor our body's condition or even properly maintain it. So using this analogy, imagine that your body is a car, and the picture on the left is a Humber Snipe in the 1950s. It's the kind of car my uncle had. He was the first one in our street to own a car, and he used it to take not only myself and my mum and dad, and my auntie Iris and his and two children. We had 7 people in the car when we went on holidays. But it had very limited data analytics in the car. You knew how much petrol was, you knew what the oil pressure was, you knew the temperature, but very little else. So, how did you measure the health of your car? How often will it break down? And in the case of the Humber Snow, it broke down very regularly, and we had no idea whether it would take us to our final destination. Um, but who is going to look after these types of vehicles? And you compare that with the car that I had in 2007, an MG Mini, where the technologies embedded in the car gave us a lot more information that allowed us to keep a better track, not only on the state of the car, providing alerts when something was wrong, but also helping us to navigate on that journey. And all of this has come about in the 70 years or so of my lifetime. So we've relied on knowledge professionals who are trained to diagnose and treat problems. So, in the case of cars, it's been mechanics who know the inside of a car inside out, and of course, doctors and nurses. And we rely on them to diagnose and treat any problems that we have. But today, we have amazing developments in sensor and display technologies that help these knowledge professionals diagnose, monitor, and intervene when there's a health problem. So these technologies, and the ones that I wear on a regular basis, smart ring, smart watch, blood glucose measurement devices, these help us to provide the tools that navigate to our desired health. And so some examples of wearable devices, smart watches showing our heart rate and our blood pressure, etc., and mobile applications which give us an indication of the state of our health. There's some screens from FitBit, but also can give us some advice, particularly on healthy eating and sleep. And I know that it works, and you can get demonstrable improvements. So this is truth. This is me. This is how I looked in the 1980s, and how I looked in the early 2000, and the transformation for me came in 2013 through a combination of circumstances, mainly about people telling me I was fat and learning that I got a higher chance of getting diabetes too, that led me to try and gamify my health. And within 21 months, within 3 months, I lost 21 kilos. So I know these substantial improvements in physical and mental health are achievable. And the other side of that concept is the digital barometer. When I was a child, we used to have a barometer in our hallway that told us what the weather was going to be like based on the barometric pressure. But in the context of health, it's about using a digital health barometer to design a personal health benchmark, which can be a health index that helps us to see whether we're improving our health or whether our health is deteriorating. And the shot on the right hand side shows an illustration of measuring diabetic risk on a weekly basis. So going back to the solution, personalized, gamified, and behavioral health change, this is a network diagram of the concept. It's about having diagnostic solutions, which include wearable technologies that measure a variety of health parameters, benchmarking solution to enable us to measure how we compare against the general population and people of our own age and background and characteristics, etc. And then putting that together to create solutions that create a personalized preventative healthcare services hub. And Wes Streeting mentioned in his most recent plan, 10-year plan, the concept of neighborhood wellness hub, which are basically a place which is not just about curing or managing health problems, but it's about preventative healthcare and has a portfolio of different types of services from clinicians, podiatrists, nutritionalists, health, gymnasiums, whole range of different services that all go together to help to prevent poor health. And this is taken from my own example. These are screenshots from the smart ring that I use, and there's a facility on it called AI Insights, which on a week by week, month by month, year by year basis assigns me a health index, which is made up of my sleep quality, my vitality or exercise, movement, etc., my balance, which measures the level of stress, it measures my average heart rate and gives me an average oxygen saturation level. And so the AI insights show my weekly performance. You see on the second screen there, my health was 70, sleep 74, vitality down to 85, and balance at 39. And this is kind of amplified on by text, which explains how these figures are arrived at and what it actually means. And this is shown not only in text form, but also in graphical form. Now, what I've shown you on the screen there is only a fraction of the text and graphics that's available on my mobile application linked to my smart ring. So to wade through that every time I want to check on my health is quite time consuming. To be honest with you, I don't have the time to wade through it all. So this was how I came up with the idea of using AI to summarize that and present it in a form of the kind of advice that a health coach might give. And then again, to use AI to animate a digital health coach. And this is the result.
Here's some advice for the week ahead. Sleep. Aim for a regular bedtime around 10 p.m. Try winding down with a non-digital routine, a book, calm music, or light stretching. Your body loves rhythm, and at 76, consistent sleep quality is as important as quantity. Diet. Focus on light, nutrient-dense meals in the evening, vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, fish. Avoid late caffeine or alcohol as they can disrupt deep sleep cycles. During the day, eat for energy, not just fullness. Think colourful plates and moderate portions. Stress and balance. Your low balance score suggests stress is taking a toll. Introduce micro breaks, 5 minutes of deep breathing, stepping outside for fresh air, or even gamifying stress management by tracking calm streaks. Technology can help here. Use reminders on your phone or ring to check in with yourself. Gamification. Tip. Treat these changes like a personal challenge. For example, score yourself on how many nights you hit your bedtime target. Track your balance boost activities and aim to raise your score by 5 points next week. Reward yourself when you keep the streak going. A nice walk in nature, a favourite healthy treat, or a new playlist. Summary. You've got solid vitality, but your balance and sleep need more attention. By focusing on consistent sleep, mindful eating, and short daily stress breaks, you'll likely see your overall health score rise and feel more energy, clarity, and calm day to day.
So this is an example of the kind of smartphone solution that might give you personalized health advice based on the data that's collected in your ring. So what's the problem? Well, it's human nature to demand quick fixes, and we can see examples of this with the diabetes jab at the moment. And we're living in time of exponential change. There is a lot of pressure on each of us individual in daily life, and we have a growing dependence on technology in daily life, and it's just human nature to try to get things fixed. It's not human nature to put a lot of energy and effort into something which, if you're in reasonable health, is not, you don't see as a priority. So Here are some examples of quick fixes from the Health Optimization Conference. Human regenerator bed. Imagine being able to just lie on that and have a quick fix. Barometric chambers. We're going in, lying down in a chamber where the oxygen supply helps to regenerate your lungs. Devices like this headset, neuronic headset, which helps to measure your brain waves and helps you to focus, concentrate, and relax. So, what's the solution? Well, one of the solutions, which I don't endorse particularly, is the use of AI to control body functions. Now, I'm all in favor of things like insulin pumps, which use AI to recognize when you need a shot of insulin and to respond accordingly. But I think our human body needs to be managed by our own brain. Digital therapeutics, these do help. There are therapeutic devices which give both mental and physical exercises that help to address some of the chronic health challenges that people face today. But at the heart of it, I think the best solution are this idea of community wellness hubs, which bring together all the stakeholders who've got something to contribute to help people to manage their own health. And I want to show you an example of this that actually works in practice. This is part of the longevity network set up by Neil King in Milton Keynes. And here are a few shots from their nutrition club that shows pictures of people who come regularly to the nutrition club. And it's about not only having healthy nutrition while they're at the breakfast club, but also social networking. And that is the thing that I want to impress on you in this presentation. Although there is strong evidence that AI and wearable technologies can make a big difference to your personal, physical, and mental health, and I've seen the benefits of it. At the end of the day, evidence shows that it's actually healthy social relationships that help us to increase longevity and the quality of our life. And so initiatives like the Nutrition Club, like community wellness hubs, will give you the motivation and the wraparound support to help you to manage your health and not only live longer, but have a healthier lifespan. And this is the Longevity Network Nutrition Club. As I said at the beginning of my presentation, I'm not especially endorsing any of these products or services. I'm just sharing my personal experiences. So, neighborhoods of the future, smart neighborhoods of the future will have tools which support social connections, the human to human, important interface, nutrition, which I found even more important than exercise or movement. I go to a gym 3 times a week, but my main exercise is walking every day. Education, understanding the way your body works, access to the kind of therapeutic technologies that can make a difference to your health management or your understanding of your own health. And AI enabled gamified health and the concept of digital health coaches will help, but it's actually human beings that are going to make the biggest difference to your life. So, looking at healthy, active aging, I want to make a plea on behalf of older people. I'm 76 years old, and I want to make the point that older people have a huge amount to offer. And good health, mental health, good physical health is a route or a pathway to harnessing human potential. And I think we need to think of the elderly more as an asset than a liability. Well, thank you very much for watching my presentation. There are some freebies and special offers that go with my presentation. If you'd like to take advantage of any of those, my email address is david@davidwortley.com. So that is the end of my presentation. I hope that you've got something from watching it. Please don't hesitate to contact me at my david@davidwortley.com if you would like to take advantage of some of the freebies being offered by Garmin and others. I'd be very happy to accommodate you. But at the end of the day, I just want you to think about how you can manage your own health and whether the latest technology and wearable technologies is something that is going to support your social networks and all the other elements that go up to make a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.